Hello, and welcome to Women in Business, where we interview entrepreneurs and senior managers and show you the strengths, successes, obstacles, and roadblocks women experience in business. Since I believe every person in business needs to be visible, I'd like to invite you to watch www.sob6, that's the number 6, tips.com, which will give you some valuable information should you get the call to be on radio or TV, which I think is extremely important. If you'd like to contact me personally, drop me a line at Gail Carson, that's Gayle, Gail Carson 13 at gmail.com, or go to my website, www.spunkyoldbroad.com, and sign up for my weekly newsletter. Hi, everyone. This is Gail Carson, the Spunky Old Broad, coming to you for our show today with a wonderful guest. Be sure you go to my website and be sure to go to YouTube and watch us on YouTube at Spunky Old Broad. That's great. My guest today is a very, very wonderful marketing person. She's a branding person. She's founder and president of North Star Marketing, a digital marketing agency providing marketing and promotion services to coaches, consultants, and small business owners. And her name is K-A-E, Wagner. She's an award-winning author, a TV producer, a filmmaker, and a business communicator. She helps her clients get speaking engagements, grow their lists, and reach new markets by using smart marketing moves. She's a national speaker on the virtual and live stage and an avid reader and writer. Welcome, Kay. How are you?
I'm doing great, Gail. It's so nice to be talking with you. I love what you do for the world, and I'm so happy to be a part of it today.
Thank you so much. I've got to ask you, because, everybody's interested in marketing. Everybody's interested in branding. Everybody is interested in being the one of a kind. Why did you go into this work? And how did you get your start in business? I mean, were you always interested in marketing? Was it what you studied in college, or how did you get into all of this?
Well, it's an interesting story. Our interests start at an early age, and sometimes by design and sometimes by default, right? So when I was a kid, I grew up on a dairy farm, and excuse me. And so I was, working from morning till night, and we were on a dairy farm doing all kinds of work. And I remember when I was about 12 years old, and I was always a creative kid. So if you're a creative kid on the farm, that's not a good match. You need to be a worker bee. I remember when I was about 12, I decided that whatever my career was, it was not going to involve labor. It was not going to involve hard work. I wanted to do things that were creative. And so I was a writer actually at an early age, and got published when I was in high school. And I was hooked after that. Of course, getting my work really recognized out in the world was a real boost for me. But I think marketing for me and starting North Star Marketing was really pulling together a lot of the skill sets that I studied in high school and college, and then in my early career worked in an agency, worked in television, worked as a filmmaker for a while. But I could pull all of those skill sets together, writing, speaking, strategizing, into a digital marketing agency and really have it be a commercial success. So kind of pulling all of the things that I love to do into one business was really a powerful way for me to express, and also to, work with clients that were large clients, small clients, and really use marketing as the driver of their business, because that's really what marketing is. It drives your business.
Yeah, it's interesting. It's funny that you said you thought about combining all those things. When I was in college, of course, I wanted to be a singer and a dancer. I don't know if on Broadway, but pretty close to it. And when I was in college, I mean, I always knew I had a brain, but I really discovered, this is not that hard. And so, how am I going to put all of my interests to work? And I decided that the way to have showbiz and teach and do all the things that I love to do was to own a modeling school. And that's what I did at the age of 21. So I get where you were coming from, Kay, because, I mean, it was everything I wanted, and it was mine for 21 years. And I built it up into 7 offices and 3 diverse businesses and 350 people, and don't ever want to do that again. But anyway.
But that's a great success story, Gail. I didn't know that about you.
Yeah. I mean, it really was something else. I mean, I was and boy, was I naive. I mean, I was in business 2 weeks, Kay, when I got a cease and desist order from a big competitor who thought I was going to take over the world. And I didn't even know what a cease and desist order was. So it was an education from the beginning. But why do you think that marketing is so hard for coaches, for consultants, for business owners in general? I would think that, I mean, that was kind of always easy for me to put into play because I believed in it so much. So why do you think it's so difficult for so many people?
Well, Gail, the people that I talk to, coaches and consultants, business owners, they struggle with marketing for several reasons. Now, for you or for me who kind of have an intuitive, creative aspect in our lives, it comes a little more naturally for us. But for a lot of people who aren't wired that way, marketing requires a ton of skill sets. It requires multiple skills. So marketing really, as a foundational piece, is based on the 5 Ps, which is how you develop your product or program, how you do promotion, how you put together your pricing strategy, your people strategy, and your positioning strategy. And so when we look at marketing, and marketing is not advertising, some people think they're the same thing, but it's not. Marketing is foundational. It requires strategy. It requires planning. It requires execution and then delivery. And then that's just at a high level. Then at a more detailed level, there's branding, writing, program development, creating visuals, doing marketing materials, knowing technology. It never gets finished. There's never an end to the work that you do in marketing. And so there's so many layers and levels to it and so many skill sets. Some people are much better at strategy and planning. Other people are very detail oriented. And so to do marketing and promotion well for your business, you've got to be able to kind of toggle back and forth. And I think that's the part that is the hardest for people. Some people are great starters. They love to develop programs and courses and products. But then once they've developed them, they'd like to hand it off to somebody else. Now, if you're a consultant or a coach and you are the business, you're the only person, you either need to get really good at all this stuff or you need to develop a team around you. And when people are just getting started, they don't have the time, they don't have the money, they don't have the maybe the higher level perspective of how to actually develop their business structure. And so they just go in, and I've seen hundreds and thousands of coaches do this. I'll just start a program.
I have to course. I've seen, I have to say that when I started out, I think for a long time, I was by myself. I mean, I was 21. I had no money. I just knew what I had to do, and I worked like crazy because, I mean, I was single and I didn't have anything else to do. So it was, it was a full-time type of thing. So I understand that. And And also, there was no technology then. Believe it or not, there were no credit cards then. There were, I mean, there were no virtual assistants then.
Right.
So it was a whole lot different. But why do you think that branding, marketing, communications, promotions, all of that are so different? I mean, to me, they're kind of all tied together, but do you think they're so separate?
Well, they are in terms of, so let's look at it this way, right? So marketing is really the foundation of what you do. And then branding is your face to the world. So branding is the outward expression of your marketing foundation. And marketing is where your strategies are developed and where, the programs and products are developed, where your business structure is built. So then branding is like sits on top of that, and it's the face of your business expressed to the outside world. The best analogy or best story about that, Gail, is when you look at a lot of the insurance companies. They are really good at branding a service that is an intangible, and you can't actually show insurance, right? But you have the gecko, you have the duck, you have Flow, you have all of these brands, expressions that really connect to what the company is. So it's the face of the business. So like Flow is the face of Progressive Insurance, right? And so it personalizes what is an intangible. Now, so branding is the face, marketing is the foundation. If you want to say that branding is the face, you could say marketing is like the skeleton and the brain of what you're doing. And then communications is how you express it verbally and visually into the world. So that becomes tactical execution. And promotions are similar to that, except we push promotions a little further into kind of bridging from marketing into sales, which is that area where you're moving out of the marketing area. You're actually moving into the one-on-one, the pre-sale, the promoting. Typically, promotions are a shorter term tactic as well. So they each have their own function as part of the whole work of marketing itself. Does that make sense, Gail?
It does. And I have to say that I always marketed. I mean, and I used speaking as my marketing when I did my first business, because that was something I had been trained in college. I mean, I gave 17 presentations a week in college.
Wow.
And so, that's the one thing I knew I could do. But it wasn't until I created the SOB, the Spunky Old Broad, that I really had a brand. I mean, I was successful in my businesses. And after I sold the agency, not the agency, but the schools, and I had a talent agency, SAG-AFTRA, and I had a convention service company. And I went on the speaking tour for 20 some years, and I was known as a leadership and customer service speaker. And it took me about 18 months to change my known self from image consultant to leadership and customer service. And then when I went into the SOB, then it was another change again. But, certainly this year has been an unusual year. We've had that horrible word called pivots, and we've had changes. So what do you see for 2021? I mean, as far as I know, there really are not going to be many live meetings for 2021. We're not going to really be past this pandemic for another 6 or 7 months. So what do you see for 2021?
Well, you're dead, spot on with being able to navigate 2021, knowing what we know now about how we need to interact. And just like you did, Gail, I grew my business by writing and speaking, writing and speaking. I was, being seen everywhere by building large networks. And in those days, they were all in person. I was a national speaker. I wrote and spoke everywhere. So when you look at how powerful that was in your business growth and in mine, then you look at 2021 and say, okay, what can we learn from that? What can we take from that and put into 2021? I think the focus for 2021 is going to be connections in a deeper way, more direct interaction, more one-on-one, and more small group deep dive work. Right now, as human beings, because of the pandemic, we are craving interaction. We are craving meaningful interaction, not just, emails for JV partners, and they're great, not just launch it and forget it, not just, the 4-hour work week. We are actually craving that interaction with human beings that has meaning and depth. And we can do that just in the way that we're talking now, in creating those business opportunities where we can just interact and not be a slave to time in terms of developing relationships. We live in an instant world. We live in a world where we want it right away. We want to make money while we sleep, Somebody called me the other day and he was transitioning out of a career into being a coach. And he said, what I'd like you to do for me is to help me create videos, put them up online, and then just have people come to them, pay me, and I don't even want to talk to anybody. And I'm like,
good luck.
Yeah. I'm like, so let me get this straight. You want to become a coach, but you don't want to help anybody, actually. You don't want to talk to anybody. So for me, the focus for 2021 is what can I do to increase my deep interaction, to see the faces, hear the voices, know the people in a way that meets that need, really, that human nature need for meaningful relationships. And meaningful relationships don't happen in a McInstant. They, like anything, need to be nurtured. And that's what I see as the really big opportunity for 2021. It's not so much about quantity and list size and all of that. I think it's about the work that happens in the way you and I worked at the beginning of our careers, when we would see people, talk with people, and really, connect, really get to know them.
Well, it's interesting because I have told all of my clients and people who I just talk with and in my messaging and so forth, you have got to contact your customers, and you have got to contact past clients, and you need to contact people who you want as clients, because the personal connection is what's going to sell you, not your service so much, not your product so much. It's that personal interaction that's going to make the difference for you. And we're seeing that play out every day.
Yes, and it's one of the foundational pieces that will never go away, no matter the technology, no matter the business models. That connection with people will always be a keystone for our growth.
So what are some of the things you wish you'd known before you started your business? Because, in this Women in Business show, we always like to tell our listeners the obstacles that our successes have gone before us. What did we go through to get where we are? So what were some of the things that you wish you had known before you started in business?
I think one of the things that happens for women, maybe in particular, is that we think we need to go it alone. We just get started, and we're big girls, and so we do it. But I think it's really important to get help along the way. It's a long journey. It's a great journey. but you don't have to go it alone. And even though you're the captain of the ship and the final responsibility is yours, it's important to get help along the way because we all need different perspectives on what we're doing. I would also say it's very important to know your why you are in this world, not necessarily in this world, but why you're in this business. What is your business why? And then to stay focused on that business why, and then just do the daily hustle and grind and get the work done. Every day, show up, ask for business, deliver on business, be stellar at delivering on your work, be stellar and exceptional at asking every day for new business, asking every person, do you want to work with me? Can we work together on this? And I think we have this idea as women that it should just come to us, but it's a hustle, it's a grind, you just put your head down and do it, right, Gail?
That's right. That's right. And of course, some people go into business and only think it's the way to make money, but you also have to make sure that it's part of your being as well. I'm a firm believer that you have to love what you do or you're not going to be very good at it. We only have about 5 minutes left, so I want to talk a little bit about the books that you've written. Kay, what are some of the titles that you've done?
I've written 2 books. The first one is called The Power Principles of Marketing. And there are 10 power principles that we follow. And you could think about those power principles as the best practices in marketing. And what I'm really working towards now is what I see in coaching and consulting is that there is a lack of best practices in marketing. And it's my goal to bring best practices to this industry and to coaches and consultants who need to understand what to do, why to do it, and how to do it in terms of marketing and promotions. And so following the power principles of marketing and really getting that messaging further into this industry is important to me. Then the second book is the CEO's Little Black Book on Branding. And that was written specifically for CEOs who don't understand branding and marketing, and really is a ticket for them, if you will, to be able to work with their marketing and sales teams to understanding how branding can drive marketing, which in the end, if you do branding and marketing well, sales are so much easier.
Oh boy, do I agree with you, Kay? I mean, let's face it. I want to make sure people know how to get in touch with you, though. What's the best way to reach you? What's your website? I don't know if you have a gift for anybody, but whatever it is that you'd like to tell people about you and where to find you, I'd like to know for them to know that.
Yes, thank you, Gail. So you can learn more about North Star Marketing at our website is www.northstar-m as in marketing.com. So that's www.northstar-m.com. And you can really learn about the work that we've done over the years. In addition to that, I would recommend to everyone that they join our Facebook group, which is called the X2 Forum. And you can just go on Facebook groups and search for the X2 Forum. The X2 Forum is a forum that I do every Monday at 4 o'clock Eastern Time. And it's unusual, Gail, because what we do is we focus on experiential, rapid learning and explosive growth. So those are the 2 X's: experiential, rapid learning, and rapid growth, and explosive growth. And then we do kind of some teaching and discussion, and then we have a period of time where we do experiential learning, interactive, active learning, because that's how people really get their head and their heart connected. And that's how deep learning happens. And that's really how transformation happens, transformative learning. And So we cover a ton of marketing strategies, tactics, execution, etc. in the X2 forum. It's a really great way to connect with other people who are coaches and consultants. And it's also a way to really understand at a much deeper level marketing as a driver in your business.
Well, there you have it, folks. You know where to go to find Kay and learn some things at the same time, which is fantastic. I want to remind you that you can go to, gosh, I got so many sites, I don't know which ones to tell you, but I'd love for you to go to my store. If you go to https://store.spunkyoldbroad.com. We've got so many great things there. We've got hoodies, we've got leggings, we've got t-shirts, we've got coffee cups, we've got just all kinds of things. So be sure to check it out. Be sure to go to YouTube and check us out there. And Kay, I want to thank you so much for being with us today. And let's hope your experiential learning has an impact on some of the people that you're dealing with at this point. Thanks so much for being with us.
Thank you. And I just want to say, Gail, you are the epitome of a beautiful brand.
Oh, wow. Thank you. Thank you. You hear that, folks? From Kay's mouth to your ears. Thanks so
much.
Hi, this is Dr. Gail, and I wanted you to know I have a whole bunch of other things to offer you. If you go to spunkyoldbroad.com, you will see an array of SOB stuff for sale and all our latest products and additions. If you're interested in getting on TV, I have a brand new course, Get on TV. And if you want to start your own business, you'll want my SOB Guide to Business Success. I know you'll love them all. I guarantee it.